Okay, so I started this YouTube channel off to become the best remote salesperson that I can. I've noticed through my time as an entrepreneur and also in my old role, I used to work at a school. Working at a school led me to realize that teaching something is the best way to be able to learn it yourselves. I used to be a sports coach and I used to have to teach the kids stuff like netball, volleyball, all things that I didn't know how to play myself. So when I would have to actually teach these kids it, I'd have to learn them, and when I taught them, I'd become better than them at the actual skill. Obviously they're kids, so I'm not going to gloat too much in it. But when I'm learning these skills, especially stuff like badminton and learning how to hit the racket, hit the thing, it's like I understand it way better if you learn it yourself. So the best way I can learn remote sales the best that I can is be able to teach somebody else. So I'm just going to put this on a little YouTube video. I don't really care who watches it. It's more just for myself learning. And I'm going to jump right into the deep end with this and not teach you from the start of remote sales in terms of what it is and stuff like that. We'll come onto those sort of videos and stuff like that later. But this video will be more about what is a Loom video, because that's the sort of common objection that I'm following at the moment. What is a Loom video? Why do you send Loom videos? How can a Loom video increase your chance of being able to get a placement? And obviously right now I haven't got a placement. I'm still just doing a load of outreach messages, and I've been told by my mentor that Loom videos are probably the best way that you can be able to land a role. So yeah, we're going to hop straight into the video. In this sales video, I'm not going to tell you any sort of motivation. I'm not going to give you any sort of sales theory. I'm not going to give you a massive life story in terms of who I am or what I do. I'm just going to teach you one thing, and that's why personalized Loom videos separate serious candidates from everybody else, and exactly how one is done properly. I've been doing a lot of research today in terms of the best ways to be able to present your Loom videos and how to be able to get the best one across in the correct structure going across. If you're in a remote sales job and you're trying to get a remote sales job, if you're just sending the same old CV to every single person, you're never going to be able to get a role. If you're just DM outreaching every single day, they don't notice that you're completely different to anybody else. They're just going to be thinking that you're the exact same people as somebody else in the DMs. But sending over a Loom link will then show your personality, and it'll show the conviction that you are what it takes for them to be able to push more booking calls into their sort of pipeline, if that makes sense. So the Loom videos specifically for this video is going to be more for appointment setters in that role, because obviously I am an appointment setter at the moment and those are the roles that I'm trying to get. So maybe when I'm going to be a closer, I'll make another video, but right now it's just based on that. And I'm going to show you how to use a simple Loom video can increase your chance of getting hired dramatically, and even if you're not the most experienced candidate. I feel like in this role, conviction probably plays the biggest part in anybody getting put onto an offer. People buy people at the end of the day, and especially within the online space, you'd rather hire somebody that you would like to work with than somebody with bags of experience, because especially if they've got bags of experience and a bit of a shit person. Like if they're jumping around from offer to offer and they've got loads of experience in that role and they're applying for your Zoom call, and they're not a nice person that spoke like this and kind of twiddle their hands, oh yeah, I've had about this many roles and this and a little bit like that. Or you had somebody that spoke very convictionally and said, this is what I'm going to do to be able to bring more leads into your business. The business coaches are more likely to pick the second person, well, the person that's new and got conviction, rather than the person that's just got loads of things for that. So what is a Loom video and why it works? So Loom videos, I don't know if you know the app called Loom. If you don't know what it is, just type it up. It essentially is a video that will create trust, energy, and differentiation from any other people that are in your coach's outreach DM box. Yeah? Hiring managers want signal and not perfection, so just make sure when coaches come on their roles and see somebody sent them a Loom video, they automatically stand out to somebody that's just sending them messages. They get to hear your voice, they get to see what you look like, they get to see the conviction in your voice, they get to see what tone you speak in, they get to see how much you actually want to be a part of their business. So this automatically sets you apart from a person that's just going to be sending cold DM outreach. And most applicants will hide behind text and be like this, so you want to be able to stand out. And the way that you stand out, 100 people could be sending Loom links, but this is why the Loom link will make sure that you are different to any other person. And the golden framework to work with is that these video should take between 60 and 90 seconds long, never over 2 minutes, short and very, very confident. And you're not just going to be rambling on and unsure about what you're saying. It's very short, precise. And what I'm going to do now is show you the framework and what to use to be able to position yourself within a higher role, and structure this 90-second video, because you don't want to just be talking and be like, oh, yo, my name's Kofi and I will hopefully want to get onto your offer. You want to be very specific, and there's a structure that we follow. And obviously I did a lot of research prior this video that I'm showing you today. And these are the things that you want to be able to put together. So the structure is, you want a confident intro, you want relevant backgrounds, you want proof and numbers, a personal connection to the offer, and you want a confident close. Make sure that you're not begging. And to say, yeah. Also, when you do make these Loom videos, you just make sure that you want to be presenting yourself as the best way that you can and the best version of you that you can. You want to have some clean clothes on, a tidy background, good lighting, and match the company's vibe. So if you're on a fitness offer, then make sure you're wearing sort of fitness clothes, or making sure you look smart and clean, and something that, like this, is just something, it's not nothing too much, it's just quite tidy and clean, and it's not too much. But if you're on sort of like looking for a high corporate offer, maybe it's in like tech sales or B2B, and they're selling business management courses and stuff like that, then you probably want to dress up a little bit smarter, maybe a suit and tie, not even a suit, but let's just say shirt and tie, button down, a quarter zip, something a little bit more smart, so the business owner sees you as a bit more respectable of, one, their business and their time, and makes you just seem like you are a good fit for their role as you stand out, as you dressing the part. Obviously makes a lot more sense, because if you're hopping in these roles, they want to show, they want to pick the right candidate for them. And a little difference is by making sure that everything is clean and calm, you dress the right part, everything, there's a clean background behind you, you've got a fresh trim, your face is clean shaven. They're going to be more likely to be able to pick you than the other person. And it's all about these little 1%. Obviously these coaches are getting hundreds, if not 150s applications all the time, and then they're going to have to go through the interview process, so they're going to be filtering out these quickly. So if you can upgrade these little 1%, you're going to stand more of a chance to be able to get onto the interviews than other sort of people. So now I'm going to speak to you about what you should be saying in each section. So your intro should be like, so your introduction should be your name, where you're from, and how excited that you should be to be able to present them with this Loom video, and why you're excited to be on their offer. You do not want to say like, I hope you like this, or sorry for this video, or just thought I'd try this, because these all create negative connotations around it, and making sure that you don't seem like you even know what you're doing yourself. You want to be confident, you want to have a lot of conviction in your voice, you want to know what you're saying, and you want to be very confident from the off, because people, just like TikTok, when you're scrolling, if you see a video that you don't like, you'll flick off within 1 to 2 seconds. So if somebody comes on the call with a lot of conviction, they have a lot of confidence, they're smiling, they enjoy themselves, they're doing the right things to be able to gauge your attention, then they're going to be able to stay on the Loom call for a lot longer, which means that hopefully they'll take you into a better consideration of actually closing you as a client. And then you want to use your sort of background and experiences. So obviously, I feel like the best bet for you would obviously to have been doing appointment setting for somebody else. But when you're like me, it's hard because you haven't had an offer yet. You're still looking for your first one. You can't say that you've worked for this person or that person. So you're in a bit of a fishy situation. But what you want to do is just use your relevant experience, and maybe just, my coach told me to like white lie. And that doesn't mean it's like tell a full-blown lie. It's just use relevant experiences that you may have to be able to intertwine the truth a little bit, to be able to present yourself as a better fit for the offer. Because if you say that, oh, I've never had an offer before, and this person said that he's worked for 3-4 companies, and you're exactly the same, but he's worked for 3-4 companies, of course he's going to be able to get picked over you that have no experience whatsoever. So for me, I would say something like, I've worked across appointment setting, cold calling, and pipeline management. I started my own personal shopping. I started in personal shopping, onboarding clients, and managing outbound outreach. And then I went on to build my own personal shopping business over the last 2 years, using cold outreach as my primary acquisition channel. So for me, when I was starting my personal shopping business, I went and worked shortly for a business, which I was the client onboarding manager in. I didn't do appointment setting, but I used to do a lot of cold dialing to get people that owed money and stuff like that. Like, I've not completely told a lie, but I've just bent the truth to say that I was an appointment setter, just to make sure that I'm better, I'm more eligible to be able to get the role. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So especially when you're starting off, you may just have to tell a little white lie here or there. Don't take my advice if you don't want to, but this is definitely something I'm going to be doing, and this is how I'm teaching myself. I don't care about who's watching this video. Okay? And then you want to speak about your proof and numbers. So you want to be able to teach this clearly. Client value manage, the revenue you've ever collected, your pipeline size, and if KPIs are applicable. So for example, with the personal shopping business that I used to work for, there are 1,049 clients in the group chat, and there was a highest I got offer for 1,500. So times in these two together, you're looking at about over 1.5 million. So how I would then speak about this in my Zoom call with the fact to say that I have managed and helped organize a pipeline size of over 1.5 million. I've collected over this much, and because I know what I'm doing and I'm structuring myself as somebody as of value, they look at me completely different than somebody saying that, oh, I've worked for this person. You're giving them real metrics. Show them the KPIs that you hit. For example, 100 outreach messages a day. I'm doing that anyway because that's what I've got to do to be able to get clients. So you can say that you can do 100 outreaches because it's not a lie. And then, yeah, just the client value that you've managed, and then revenue collected. So this, again, can hopefully just white lie a little bit. And you don't have to say massive numbers, you know what I mean? Like, I'll probably have cleared over 100 grand, because that would be a lie. But saying stuff like, I've cleared over 4 grand, like, that is starting numbers. Over a 6-month period, that's not a lot. So yeah, an example of this would be, yeah, across the time, I've managed and protected client pipelines worth over 1.5 million in value, focus on conversations, follow-up, and retention. That is not a lie. Especially within the personal shopping game, there is multiple monies in the game, and I've just kind of bent the truth a little bit to be able to make it seem of more of value. What the thing that you want to do is always speak in outcomes and not just the effort that you've gave. You always want to give the real metrics and real numbers rather than just, oh, I sent out this many outreach messages, because businesses won't buy that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And this is why it's okay just to, I'm not going to say white lie, because I just feel like I'm sending out bad information. But it's okay when you have never been on an offer to kind of bend the truth to make yourself a bit more valuable and then work yourself up. As long as you know that you're confident that you can execute, then you should be nice. And there's going to be loads of people applying for the same offer as you as well. So if you worm your way through and get it, then you should be on that offer. And that's why I speak about conviction. You should be like, I'm on this offer before I even get to it, and I should be on this offer. And you'll only get on that offer if you deserve to be on it anyway. So yeah. Hopefully the last take now, but yeah, personal connections to the offer is the next most important part, I like to say. And this is obviously where you really cook here. And this is examples of this would be like why the company needs you, why this niche needs you, and why you fit the prospects accordingly. So for example, in the fitness sense of things, let's just say I'm obviously quite big with fitness. I've played football at a very young age up until now. I played at national level. Played for my country, Antigua. I did a marathon last year. I've got a marathon booked for April this year. I want to do a high rocks this year. I run most days. I go to the gym. Fitness is a very big part of my life. So when I'm outreaching to companies and say, especially fitness companies, and I use this as a part of my story to why you should hire me as an appointment setter, is because I understand the pain points of the prospects that you exactly want, because I actually live in the world that you want to live in. And this will be better than an appointment setter that's, say, a little bit big and don't really get along with fitness and just following a script. Because if you can actually help the client make a better decision and be like, yo, I generally think that you should join this offer because X, Y, X, Y, and you actually generally fully believe it in yourself because you understand the pain points and you understand what people actually have to do to be able to get into the position they actually want to, it steads you so much further than somebody that, or is just going to be reading off a script and it's just a decent appointment setter. So obviously you want to be able to have a very good personal connection to the offer. And if you don't have a personal connection to the offer yourself, then you want to be able to use a third party. For example, if this fitness offer is now for 40-year-old women that are trying to lose weight. Obviously, I'm not a 40-year-old woman, so I don't understand the pain points of a 40-year-old woman trying to lose weight. Obviously, I know the fitness part, so I can kind of explain that, but I definitely don't know how it's like for a 40-year-old woman to. But I've got a mum that's over 40. I've got an auntie that's over 40. So you can use these and be like, well, my mum's tried to be getting on fitness, and I can pinpoint the pain points that she's understood from that. And it's just all about having that personal connection to the offer. And that is the most important part of the thing, because it shows that you are relating to the prospect and you're relating to the actual offer that you will be placed on. Obviously, the coaches and stuff like that will love this. And then on to the last bit is just how you close. So you do not want to beg, you do not want to overthink, and you do not want to ego stroke. This whole theme of this video, I've said one word, and that is conviction. If you believe that you already are on the offer, why the hell would you beg? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So you cannot say, oh, thank you so much, I hope I get on this offer, I hope to hear from you soon. That doesn't make sense, because they already be thinking, oh, this guy doesn't even believe it himself. But if you say something like, let me give you the example that I've got written down here. Thank you for taking your time to watch this. I'd love to connect with you to see if I'm a good fit for you to work together. I'm available from 5 p.m. UK time after this, or whenever suits you. I'm looking forward to be jumping onto your offer soon. This already gives a very, very confident and already appreciative value of the offer. And coaches will always remember these little 1%. I feel like on these Loom videos and stuff like that, these coaches are going to be looking through 100 Loom videos and has to pick off 1 or say 5 people for an interview. So all these little 1% things matter, as this will push you closer to be able to get onto the call and hopefully locking in that placement where you can get the OT of how much the other offer is. And obviously the final takeaway that I want to give you is, if you're serious about remote sales, you need to stop applying like everybody else and send a personalized Loom video. This will give you the best possible chance of being seen, remembered, and hired. If you're just sending a load of outreach messages, the people don't know who you are, they don't see your face, they just see the message, they're going to get annoyed, they're just going to think you're like everybody else. So this is how you then split your part from the different appointment setters in actually sending a Loom video. For example, if you've just done a little bit of outreach, you're speaking to the person now, and he's not giving the best warm conversation, sending a Loom video is automatically going to set you apart from anybody else that is messaging him. And obviously there's going to be loads of people messaging for services and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously my first video based on this topic. I'm going to do a couple of more, because as I said, I want to really learn this year and get the best version I can. And as I feel like the best version, the best way for me to learn is to teach. And not to say that I'm the best, I'm no guru, I'm no really appointments that I'm making dozens a month, I tell you that for free, but I definitely want to learn, I definitely want to get better, so these videos will definitely help me, and hopefully help anybody else that is watching this video. So yeah, I appreciate you very much. We're going to get some videos out, hopefully in the week, just explaining what this whole appointment setting remote sales thing is for the people that don't know. And yeah, I hope you lot have enjoyed your day. I'll catch you lot soon.